Hey everybody, it's Christine from the Gospel Method, and today we're going to be talking about why you aren't seeing results with your playing. Have you ever felt that no matter how much you practice, you're just spinning your wheels? Well, the truth is, it's not how long you practice, but it's about how you practice. And today I'm going to show you the best things you can do to get the fastest and the best results. So a lot of my students tell me, I've been practicing for a long time, but I just don't feel like I'm getting any better. So let's break down the 3 reasons you're not improving and what you can do instead. So the first thing is, the issue I see a lot is that you're not practicing, you're playing. Okay, so I'm gonna put up a song here. This is from year 2. This is in our free membership. You can just download it. But I'm just going to use this as an example. Like, let's say we're starting with the verse, and I'm not practicing. I'm just going to play through it over and over. But I don't know it yet. So, on a hill far, I don't know what that diminishes away. I'll skip the walk up, stood an old rugged cross. The D major, the emblem of suffering. Okay, so I'm playing it in order, but I'm making mistakes and I just keep going, right? And I'm like, well, I'll play the whole song and then I'll play it again and I'll get better, right? And that's what most people do as beginners when you're practicing. But that is playing the song, okay? So we're going to talk about what actual practice is now. So number 2 is you're ignoring the small pieces where you're making mistakes. So this is where playing turns into practicing. So in that example that I just did, I got to this G diminished. I pretended I didn't really know or I wasn't comfortable, and I just kind of, and I just moved by, right? If I'm practicing, I'm going to find the places that I'm not super comfortable with, and I'm going to practice that chunk by itself. Okay, so in this case, I would figure out, okay, G diminished, G, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then maybe I'd write that on my paper. Okay, and then I would practice just this little spot right here. Okay, and the idea of practice is that you are creating muscle memory. So I would do this. On a hill far away. Got it, nailed it. Okay. And then I'm going to do it to like 10 more times, 15 more times. Just that one little section until I can do it to a point where it's no longer challenging. Okay? And then I would do the same thing for this walk up. And then I would do the same thing for this D major, right? And you just do sections. So that's problem number 2, is I see people ignoring the small pieces and you're just playing through, right? Like number 1. Now, number 3 is that you're playing without a plan. Okay, so most people, whenever they are practicing, this is what I see. Monday they sit down and they grab a hymn from the handouts or from their church or something like that, right? And they play it over and over and over. The next day they're like, you know what? I'm supposed to play scales too. So the next day they just start Googling all the major scales. And they start playing, oh, this one has a sharp. Oh, that's cool, right? And then the next day they're like, oh, I saw this cool fill on YouTube. And they go to YouTube and they're playing something and it's way too hard. And they get discouraged and they don't play it again. And you get the idea, right? Every day it's like, well, I'm doing something. But they don't have a plan and then they're not getting any better at any of those things. So here's a simple plan that you can start today, and it's less than 15 minutes. Number 1, do a warm-up. 2 minutes, okay? 2-3 minutes. Your warm-up could be, if you're a beginner, a simple, we call this a 5-finger scale, just on your C major. It could be as simple as that, okay? You're just warming up your fingers. You're getting used to having your hands in the right position where every finger has a home, right? This could be your warm-up. You could even do it with the left hand if you're feeling brave. Right? And then if you're, after a couple weeks, put it together, right? It's something that's not super, super hard, but it's going to warm up your fingers. If you're playing a little longer and you are playing all 12 keys, go ahead and do some major scales, right? For just 2-3 minutes to warm up. And then the other thing you can do if you're not wanting to do scales, that's okay, is you can play a song that you've already mastered. Okay? So you can use that as your warm up. You're playing something you already know how to play really well. Okay, so first couple of minutes of your practice, warm up. The next part of your practice and the biggest chunk of your practice is going to be problem spots. So this is where you're going to want to write down on your papers, hopefully if you're printing them out or you write on your iPad, is you're going to go and find all these little problem spots. So, you could practice this diminished for a bit, you could practice this walk up for a bit, but you're playing one section that is hard that you do not know yet, and you're playing it over and over and over and over. So you might not master this G diminished on your first practice day. For example, like if this is something totally new, maybe you practice that G diminished for 5 minutes, and it's not perfect, but you're going to move on, and maybe for a few more minutes, you're going to practice this progression here. A lot of people get stuck when we have that G over B. So maybe you move on and you do something else. But that middle section of your practice is you're doing things that you are not yet good at, okay? And keeping track. So the next day you can go back and again do that G diminished until you get it, okay? So couple minutes warm up. The main section, so 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 8 minutes, is picking things you don't already know how to do. And then the last 4 or 5 minutes, you can put it back into your song or play something fun. Okay, so you want to kind of make a sandwich, so happy things on the outside and the hard stuff in the middle. So the end you could actually go through, let's say you've been doing this for a few days and you can get all the way down to here, right? Like maybe you can do the first 2 lines or the 3 lines. So to finish, you would kind of practice putting that G diminished back in the song and hear it all together, so you get that enjoyment of, actually getting to hear it sound nice. On a hill far away, stood an old, right? And so you can practice that all together and hear it all together. So the first few days you practice the song, you might not get very far, depending how many of those chords you know. But at the end, like I said, put the hard thing back together into the song, or again, play a song that you're already better at and end with something fun in your practice. So that is less than 15 minutes, but it is focused. Now, a little side note before we go, they have done some studies in science, and they have proven that 10 to 15 minutes of practice a day on any instrument is better than 1 hour on the weekend, okay? So if you can take this little practice routine, it is going to compound itself. They've proven that if you do a little bit of this during the day, you sleep, your brain starts making that muscle memory as you sleep. So every time you practice and go to sleep, it's kind of like compound interest, okay? So definitely give that a go. If you're looking for this handout, it's over at thegospelmethod.com. It is under our free resources, so go grab that. There's no sign up fee or anything for that. And remember, our 3 tips. You want to practice, not just play it. You want to choose small chunks to overcome, and you want to follow a plan, okay? So which of these hits you the most? Are you guilty of playing instead of practicing, or practicing without a plan? Put it in the comments. Let us know which one you're going to do this week. And if you're ready for a helping hand, go to the next level. Make sure you go to thegospelmethod.com. Like I said, we have a free membership. I'll put it up here. You can see the Gospel Method over here, gospelmethod.com. We have a free membership program with hundreds of free handouts and lessons in there for a free membership. And then if you want to go even farther and you need some hands-on help, if you go down in the description, I've got a couple of links. One is for a free Zoom class with me, so you can meet one-on-one and have a conversation and show me some stuff. And the other one is a 7-day free trial for our premium membership. It's like courses on our website, so if you want to go in and watch those video courses, there's a free 7-day trial, so you can check that out as well. So enjoy, start practicing. I know you can do it, and we'll see you next time. Bye!